What's going on, guys? In this Alpha Destiny exclusive, I want to talk about how to combine calisthenics and weight training into one. Because here's the deal, I feel that a lot of guys are dogmatic on both sides of the fence. The guys who practice calisthenics are going to say, don't add weights, body weight is the way to go, while the guys in the weight training crowd are going to say, don't do body weight exercises, just lift these heavy ass weights and make some crazy gains. And although both sides have some points, I feel that you can get the best of both worlds if you intelligently program it. So let me teach you how to do that in this video. So first and foremost, I want to identify the #1 issues with calisthenics and kind of eliminate some of the bias that they have, all right? So the first problem is that these dudes are not increasing the weight on their lifts, which is a huge mistake if you ask me. You're only limited by your body weight. This is something you have to understand. And unless you're gaining a little bit of weight because you're bulking, you're not going to have significant changes in your physique, in my honest opinion. That's why you see all these guys that are 140 pounds and they're doing all these crazy lifts. I mean, look at some of the guys who practice calisthenics. A lot of these guys are skinny as hell. They are really, really skinny, yet they're doing all these advanced moves. Well, the reason is that they're not gaining weight. You see, I see a lot of guys who they've been doing weight training for 10 years, then they transition to calisthenics, right? And they make all kinds of gains. The reason why this occurs is because they're weighing a lot. A lot of these dudes that are coming in from weight training, they're already 200 pounds. They're already bulked to the max. And a great example would be myself. I'm 183 pounds right now, right? Last time I did calisthenics, I was 143 pounds. So if I put on 40 pounds to my frame, and I got massive tree trunks at the same time. Now let me tell you, I tried doing some bodyweight workouts this past week because it's obviously the holidays, the gyms are closed, and I can confirm for a flaming fact that is way, way, way more difficult when you got weight on your body. It is an astronomical difference because the volume work, like you're doing a lot more workload when you add another 40 pounds to your frame. So what you guys got to start doing in the calisthenics community is adding weights. Seriously, get yourself a dipping belt. It doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. Get a dipping belt, start doing weighted pull-ups, weighted chin-ups, neutral grip pull-ups. Same thing for your dips. Do weighted dips. If you do weighted dips, and you could take that 3-4 plates for reps, you're going to have massive chest. You're going to have a massive chest, huge shoulders, huge triceps. You don't have to lift weights if you want to get that done, all right? So these are the things you have to do for calisthenics, all right? You can get a weight vest too. You can wear ankle weights. Do something, but add resistance. You can do body weight. Body weight is fine, but make sure you do it weighted. Have people sit on your back when you do push-ups. Put sandbags on your back. Do what you got to do, all right? But that's the #1 thing. Stop trying to say, well, I'm doing these advanced variations, therefore I don't got to lift weights. No. These advanced variations primarily build strength through stabilization. They're not going to get you super jacked. And for those who say, oh, gymnast, please, you're not a gymnast. You're not at the elite level. I don't want to compare. Don't compare yourself to that, all right? And besides, you can make better gains if you did a weight. Secondly, the great issue that I see with calisthenics is the fact that guys are not training their lower body hard enough, nor are they doing heavy pulls, which is a huge issue. Here's the deal. You're not going to get huge legs doing pistol squats, doing bodyweight pistol squats, doing sprints, stuff like that. It ain't going to happen. Your posterior chain is going to be lagging. Your outer quad sweep, if that's what you want to work on, is going to be lagging. Your hamstrings are going to be lagging. It cannot be done, man. The only exercise I can really think of that's good is like the bodyweight glute ham raise. But even that has its limits. Again, you need to start doing heavy pulls. So my advice for you is the following. For your upper body workouts, you can do your calisthenics. You can do your weighted pull-ups, your weighted dips, all that good stuff. But for the lower body, don't be screwing around with these bullshit exercises like fucking shrimp squats, pistol squats, stuff like that. Go to the gym, put a barbell on your back, and start doing some squats or some lunges. And more importantly, start doing some deadlifts because you are missing out on some serious benefits by not doing these heavy pulls. That's the #1 thing that you're missing out on. Don't try to tell me that these back levers is going to thicken your posterior chain like crazy. It's not going to happen. You need to do heavy pulls off the floor. It's ridiculous. A lot of these guys, they're so strong at weighted chin-ups. They got these wide lats. They have no meat to their back. There's no thickness. They can't pull weights off the floor. And they're basically, it's an injury waiting to happen if they ever decide to lift weights. So you need to start doing heavy pulls. My advice, if you really want to maximize your gains, you should do a combination of rack pulls and deadlifts. Because you need the pulling strength off the floor. That's very important if you do calisthenics. And you need the rack pulls if you want the ultra overload on the traps. Because in my opinion, if you do a lot of weighted pull-ups, weighted chin-ups, etc., you're not going to get too much thickness in the upper back. That's just my opinion. I think that rack pulls, rows, etc. are far superior. But I'm not going to tell you to do rows, because you're probably setting your ways that pull-ups are the way to go, and that's on you. That's on you, brother. But I am going to say that you should be doing heavy pulls like deadlifts, rack pulls, in addition to squats. Very, very important if you're doing calisthenics, all right? And then the final thing that's missing in the calisthenics community is direct accessory work. That, my friends, is what's going to get people injured. It's going to cause a lot of muscular imbalances. It's just not a good combination. For instance, if you look at Hannibal for King, his posture is like this. His shoulders are completely rounded forward. And that's not to offend him in any way. He's a great guy. He's inspired many people to lift weights, to do calisthenics, and it is what it is. But his shoulder posture is a disaster. It's a complete disaster, and he needs to correct that with doing rear delt work. You have to do rear delt work. It's not hard, guys. Get a pair of bands. It can cost you $10 for one little band. Start pulling it apart like this. It takes 5 seconds to do. Do band pull aparts, do band dislocations, do band face pulls, open that shit up. You can even grab dumbbells, do some rear delphies. You want to correct these muscular imbalances. Same thing for the rest of your body. You can have lagging areas such as the long head of your triceps. A lot of this calisthenics stuff, it's primarily going to put meat on the lateral and medial head, which is the area. Lateral is basically right here, and medial is right next to your elbow, all right? But the long head is missing out on some gains. So my advice is going to be to start doing some pullovers, some overhead extensions, some skull crushers behind the head. That's really going to add the finishing touch of mass to your arm. You can also start doing curls, believe it or not. I know you're getting a lot of stimulation from weighted chin-ups, but would it really hurt you to do a set of incline curls to failure at the end of your workout? Like seriously, it's not going to hurt, right? You can also do additional core work. You could do Zerker holds. You could grab you could put the weight right here. Boom, you stand up. There's lots of ways of doing accessory work. But what you have to do, my friends, is address the areas that's not typically tacked with calisthenics. So that would obviously mean the rear delts, a shitload of posterior chain work, and optional bicep and tricep work, obviously. So I think that this is how you get the best out of all the worlds. And if I can give you one final technique, use concurrent periodization, because I feel that this is a really good strength training strategy, and it's going to make you strong as hell. Like there's a lot of guys who do calisthenics, they just go in, they do endurance work. They'll do reps of 50, stuff like that. No, I think you should periodize that shit. Just like you would periodize a weight training program, periodize your calisthenics. Go in, have a volume day and intensity day. And it doesn't have to be just one volume day or one intensity day. Given the fact that calisthenics you recover very quickly, it could be multiple. You could have you could be training 4 times a week, volume intensity, going back and forth like that. But the point is, periodize your training, and you're going to be all good. So these are my tips on how to make calisthenics far more effective than what a lot of these street guys are promoting. Because although these street guys have a point in what they're doing, I think that it could be much, much better, and the guys who follow their work can get far superior gains. So that's my advice on how to combine calisthenics and weight training. Let me know your feedback down below. How would you intensify? How would you make it so that you can make even more gains? I want to know. And with that, I'll talk to you guys next time.